Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to the another virtual class of history. So today I am going to continue with the same chapter, that is rise of fascism. So I hope that you all have watched the previous video on how did Mussolini come to power, and if you have not watched that video, please do watch it. It's a request. Please do watch it. Okay. So let's start our today's class. So I have already written the important points over here. So if you go through the book, it is in a paragraph form. So I have taken out some of the important points, okay, so that it will be easy for you to understand. So chapter number 11, okay, rise of fascism. And as per the reduced syllabus, you will only have to study the main features of domestic policy, that also the economic policy. Okay, you have to study about the economic policy. So what did Italy do in order to improve the economic condition of Italy? Okay, so as you know that after the First World War, the condition of Italy was so worse, everything was scattered, and then Mussolini came to power. So initially Mussolini, when he contested the election, the fascist party only had 4 ministers out of 12 ministers. Okay, 4 out of 12 ministers were fascist. Out of 12, 4 were fascist. Okay, so he had to move very cautiously. Because though he was in the government, so he could not take stern actions. So first of all, he decided to do something which can really make the people feel that yes, their choices were right in selecting Mussolini to power. Okay, so first of all, what did he do? Number 1, he restored the confidence of the nation. The people have completely lost the confidence, right? Before this, parliamentary government had completely scattered the dreams and aspirations of the people, because they completely failed to fulfill the aspirations and the demands of the people of Italy. That is why it was very, very important for Mussolini to restore back the confidence of the nation, that people started relying on Mussolini. They must have confidence in Mussolini. So for that, first of all, he tried to restore the confidence of the nation. Okay. Now after that, what did he do? He balanced the budget. The budget of the country was in deficit, right? More expenditure was there, income was very, very less. That was a time when factories were closed, productions were not going on. So there was a deficit in the budget. So what is the meaning of budget? Receipt of income and expenditure. Every country, their income adds to the national wealth, and that was very, very low during that time, because it was soon after the war that economically Italy was suffering a lot. So what did he do? He tried to balance the budget of Italy. Okay, balance of budget. Then third one, you can see he decided to stabilize the currency. Currency must be stabilized, because if you don't control the stability of the currency, the value of your currency will go down. Like you see, our Indian currency as compared to American currency is very, very low, right? So we have to boost up our economy in order to stabilize the economy and to stabilize the currency of the country. Okay, now the fourth one is there was differences between a labor and the capital. There was factory strikes. The factories were seized by the workers. The relation between the workers and the factory owners were not very cordial. Though they seized the factories, but they could not run the factories, because they did not have the experience of organizing the factory as a whole. Workers, they are related to working only. Okay, a complete organization could not be done by the working class. That is why that failed. So the relation between the workers and the workers and the owners were not very good. That is why adjusted the difference between labor, that is the workers, and the capital. Capital means the owners. Okay, the relation between the working class and the owners should be cordial, so that production can take place smoothly, because production of any country definitely boosts up the economy of the country. Okay, if the production is low, the economy of the country will also go down. So for the better upliftment of the economic condition of any country, production has to go on smoothly, and that is possible only when you have the owners those who hold the means of production has very good relations with the workers, and that can be done by paying them good salaries or the wages. Okay, so adjusted the difference between labor and capital. Don't get confused. Labor means workers, okay, and capital means owners, okay, owners of the factories. Now next one is there. After doing so, that you can see here, he started moving one by one. He tried to sort out the problems of Italy one by one, okay, one after another. Then the fifth one, what did he do? Steps were taken to reduce the country's dependence on foreign import. Okay, we need to do something in order to depend upon other countries. Okay, we need to reduce means we have to stop importing goods from other countries, because more you import, more the currency will flow out of your country. Okay, so you have to depend upon your own domestic trade. That is why steps were taken to reduce the country's dependence upon foreign import. So whatever dependence you have with the foreign import, you have to reduce that. For that, you have to work in the agriculture sector, industrial sector. You have to improve that. That we'll discuss later on. Okay, so he had focused on reducing the country's dependence upon foreign import. Import means when you buy goods from other countries, that is import. When you sell goods from India, that is called export. Import means to come in, export means to go out. Okay, next one you can see here, shipping industry was developed. One by one, you can see here, one by one is trying to improve the country's condition. Shipping industry also was developed. Okay, more and more ships were built. Okay, and then next one you can see here, by 1930, you can see that in the industrial sector, by 1930, iron and steel production became double. It is due to the hard work and dedication. Everything was becoming very, very smooth and cordial. That is why by 1930, iron and steel production doubled. That is the backbone of any major industries. Okay, the next one, artificial silk. Okay, production also increased. Okay, there was an increase in the production of artificial silk that was highly demanded that time also. So they started to produce artificial silk. So you can see here, slowly and gradually they are becoming dependent upon their own resources. Whatever they had, they are trying to depend upon that. Okay, so you can see here, it is mentioned over here, steps number 5, once again, steps were taken to reduce countries dependent upon foreign import. Okay, foreign import like wheat, cotton, tobacco, they depended upon other countries. Okay, so that was to be reduced. Now next one you can see here, that increase that we have already discussed. Now after doing all this work, my dear, now Mussolini wanted to improve the agriculture. Okay, so there was a slogan raised in Italy, my dear, battle for wheat. We need to focus more on producing wheat. Battle for wheat. We need to produce more and more crops so that we depend upon our own resources, whatever we have. We don't have to import wheat or any of the products from other countries. So there was a battle for wheat. There was a slogan everywhere, battle for wheat. So for improving the agriculture and to fulfill the aspirations or the demands which they had shown through the slogan battle of wheat, we need to improve the agriculture. You have to improve the agriculture. So for improving the agriculture, what was done? You can see here, first of all, you have to train the farmers. Farmers were given training. It is not that plow the field, sow the seed, crops will grow out and you become a farmer. No, it is not possible. So you have to give proper training to the farmers. Okay, they must be taught the quality of the soil, in which month what type of crops are grown, okay, what type of fertilizers are required, how much water is required. So training must be given to the farmers, and for that training of farmers, okay, farmers were given proper training. Then in order to increase the fertility of the soil and to produce more and more crops so that you don't have to depend upon import, then what you have to do, you have to manufacture fertilizers. Fertilizers added to the soil increases the fertility of the soil and it produces more. Nowadays everywhere, wherever crops are grown, fertilizers are used, my dear. Okay, so manufacture of fertilizer. Then you can see here number 3, you can see here 2 we have already discussed. agricultural credit banks were opened up. Definitely when you start doing agriculture, you need money also, and from where will you get money to buy seeds or the agricultural equipment? That is why agricultural credit banks were opened up with cheap credit facilities. Interest rate was very low. You can take a loan in the name of agriculture, and then you have to pay a very less interest on that. Okay, so agricultural credit banks were open up to help the farmers by providing them agricultural loans so that they can buy fertilizers or whatever seeds or equipments for agriculture, farming equipment, they could purchase it. Okay, so agricultural credit banks were established. Now number 4, farmers were encouraged to join cooperatives. That is also very good. So let us join all our farms and work together and share the profit. That is also good, right? So encouragement. It was not that he forced. Mussolini did not force them to enter into cooperatives. So it was said, no, farmers were encouraged. They were encouraged to join agricultural cooperatives so that all the farms will be brought together, all the farmers will work together, and they will share the profit. So that way production also will be increased. Okay, and they will share the profit out of that. Okay, now you can see here number 5. Now you can see all these things are being done in order to provide facilities to the farmers to produce good crops and increase the production of crops. So next you can see here hydroelectricity. You can know hydroelectricity generating plants were also built for quick electrification of rural areas. So in the villages, rural means village areas, electrification is also very much required, because in order to get water, right, bore wells, pumps can be installed. For that electricity was required. So quick electrification was started so that it can provide electricity in the rural areas, so that farmers can lead a happy and prosperous life even. So my dear, all this thing you can see here, you will get it in the book also. It is in the form of paragraphs. So I have separated it in the form of points to make you understand clearly. Hope you all have understood this part. Okay, so what was done in order to improve the agriculture and to help the farmers? So all these things were done. Okay, now next one, let me tell you. In the industrial sector, now all this was done for agriculture. Okay, now in the industrial sector, my dear, production also increased many folds. So there was a remarkable progress in the industrial product also. By the year, my dear, they started building war vessels. Italy also started to produce war vessels. Number of cars production also increased. Okay, so but still, after doing all these things, they started producing cars, industries were improved, a number of industries increased in Italy. But in spite of doing all this thing, my dear, still Italy was unable to become self-sufficient. They had to depend on other countries for iron, coal, cotton and other articles. Still they had to depend upon other countries. That means in today's world, my dear, even today no country is independent. We can say that they depend upon other countries somehow for some other goods, right? If you say that I'm independent, I don't want the help of other countries, that is not possible. Even America, the superpower of the world, my dear, they also depend for crude oil from the Middle East countries. Okay, so this is how, my dear, one by one they all have a good relation to fulfill their needs and demands. For that, good relations are developed. But mostly, my dear, you must try, being a nation, my dear, we must try to become self-sufficient. The goods which can be produced in the country must be produced, my dear. We should not be lazy, right? Like nowadays you can see we are so much dependent upon the Chinese goods, my dear. Each and every things are imported from China, my dear. All those things can be produced in our country also, because if the goods which is produced in India, if we use, my dear, then definitely the money will remain in our country. Okay, the economic condition of the country will be stable. That is the matter of thought, my dear. Okay, so all these things were done in order to improve the agriculture. Okay, now in order to reduce employment, now you can see all these are done in order to reduce employment. Agriculture was improved so that farmers will be engaged in agriculture. Now more public works were also started up. More and more public works were also started, like construction of roads, bridges, okay, railway stations, then new towns, and electrification of main railway lines, okay, just to reduce unemployment in the country. So all these things, public works were started in order to reduce unemployment, because unemployment was a major issue in Italy after the First World War. Many people were unemployed, so anyhow we must give them job opportunities. So how to give them? So public works will start road repairing and all, road construction. People will get jobs there, workers will get jobs, engineers will get jobs and all, right? Those who supply raw materials, they will also get a chance to earn and supply raw materials to those, right, children? So all this were done in order to make the economy of the country stable and to provide employment opportunities to the people. Okay, children, so from this chapter, this much only. It's a long chapter, but as for the reduced syllabus, we only have to discuss about domestic policy, focusing more on economic policy. Okay, so hope you all have understood it. So if you want, you can pause the video and you can copy it down. You can just write it down accordingly and you can easily remember it and memorize it. Okay, so finally we have come to the end of this chapter. Hope you all have understood it. So once again, I would like to remind you, if you have not watched the previous video of this chapter, so you must watch it, my dear. Okay, so it is there in the playlist, you can watch it from there. Okay, still after watching that, if you have any doubts, you can contact me. Thank you for watching. So stay safe. Bye bye.